Do you have a Cricut machine that you know absolutely nothing to use it for? How to use it? What does this thing even do? Well, I am your friend. I'm here for you. Today I'm going to show you the simplest Cricut beginner tutorial. Brand new to Cricut. Your box isn't even open yet. I got you, okay? We're going to do an iron-on project today. So simple, budget friendly, so if you mess it up, it's not a big deal, but we're not going to mess it up today, okay? We're going to work together to get this project done. If you need any help along the way, pop it down in the comments. I can help you out. You can also DM me on Instagram. I'll leave that down below. I like to answer my DMs and help you on there if you need personalized help. If you need a little video help as well, I can do that over on my TikTok. So there are tons of options to get help. You are not alone in this. It doesn't have to be intimidating and overwhelming. Y'all might already know that I'm posting Craftmas, which is 12 days of crafty content for you. And today is a Cricut beginner tutorial. You know, we're just going to break it down in the simplest of ways we possibly can to get you crafting with your Cricut. So no more excuses for not using your Cricut. I'm gonna hold your crafty hand along the way. We've got this. Let's hop on over to it now. All right, crafters. So we are on Cricut Design Space and we are doing a super basic HTV iron-on vinyl little stocking for Christmas. So we're gonna go on over to text. I'm gonna click on that. And I'm just going to drag it over here. You'll see why in a moment. You're going to double click on it and then go ahead and edit your text. So I'm going to add in the name. And the reason I moved it over here, now you'll see, is when I do the drop down for the font here, it's not blocking and I can see as I'm changing it. You'll see it change, okay? Now, it's currently set to Cricut. That's going to show you the fonts that are priced. Some of them are free, some of them are paid for. If you have the all access membership, you might see they're available to you. This is not where we want to be. We want to be where it says system. And this is going to show you all of the free fonts. Now, if you've downloaded any fonts off of different websites, whether that's a free one like dafont.com, Creative Fabrica, y'all know I talk about that one all the time. Those are going to show on here too once you install them to your computer or your device. So I already know what font I want. I'm looking for one specifically, which is called Candy Christmas. You're going to press on the font that you want. And there we go. It is perfectly done. And now I just need to size it. So a couple ways you can size. One, you can start by dragging this little arrow. You can adjust the height and the width differently by unlocking this little lock. And this will allow you to then stretch it out, make it larger, smaller, accordingly. As so, for example, you can see it's getting larger, smaller. You can add the height to like 5, you know, whatever. Obviously that doesn't look good, but you can see how that would work. So for the size, I'm wanting to do it a little less than 6, I think. So let's see. That looks good to me. I'm going to double check the size one more time just to make sure. So yeah.
Santa's coming?
Santa's coming. My little one walked in the
Today?
room. Not today, baby. Not today. Soon.
Like in March?
Oh, soon, yeah. Okay. So you're so excited. Perfect. So now that we have that sized, we're going to go ahead and select on Make It. This is a super simple project, y'all. Cricut beginner friendly. Now, with heat transfer vinyl, you always want to make sure you're mirroring your image. Now, there are some slight exceptions to this, so just go ahead and read the instructions directly on the vinyl, the box that you get, the packaging for it. It will tell you whether or not you need to mirror it, but 9 times out of 10 with heat transfer vinyl, you do need to mirror it. I have my material size, which is typically 12 by 12, and it is on the mat. So that is perfect. You can do different mats depending on what size you have, but this is going to be the generic one, especially if you're a Cricut beginner, that you are using. We're going to continue, and I'm just going to connect it to my machine. Now mine, I use Bluetooth. If you need help setting up your Bluetooth with your Cricut, let me know. Otherwise, you can have it directly attached to your device, your computer, whatever, if you don't want to use Bluetooth. And then because I have a Cricut Maker, it has me select the material here. If you have a Cricut Explorer Air 2, for example, that one would have the dial directly on your Cricut machine that you would turn. And if you don't see that, then go ahead and look here. If you're having issues with the dial on the Cricut Explore Air 2, you're going to want to change it so the dial is hit to custom, and then it's going to allow you access to all of these. Now here are my saved ones, so yours will look a little bit different. You can go to Browse All Materials, and you are going to type in iron-on, okay? Oop. There we go. You're going to type in iron, apparently. And everyday iron-on, you can see I've already saved it, so you can click that save button because you will use that one a lot. We're going to click on it and select done. Now it is telling me what I need to do. My blade is, of course, already on there. So my Cricut is already flashing, ready to go. I'm ready to load my Cricut now and cut up my project. So let's hop on over to our Cricut machine and see what's going on over there. We have our mat with our protective sheet. So you're going to pull off that protective sheet and just keep this safely to the side. Try not to get it too dirty. I like to just hang mine back up on the hook. Now, with iron-on vinyl, you want to put the shiny side down against the mat. So here is not as shiny. You'll see it's kind of, you'll feel the vinyl. And this is really like smooth and slippery and plasticky feeling. That's the plastic carrier sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on. I'm actually going to cut off this little edge. Heat transfer vinyl can come in a number of different ways. It can come in a roll like this one. It could come in a 12 by 12 sheet that you just lay on top. It can come on a page, kind of like printer paper. So it really just depends on what type. This is Caesar Easy Weed. This is honestly the best of the best in my opinion. If you have used iron-on, let me know in the comments what your favorite iron-on is, but all we're gonna do is line it up. So this little opening you see here, this is actually the top of your Cricut mat, just for reference. And all I'm going to do is line up with the corners. Remember, the shiny side is on the bottom against the mat. So you cannot see the shiny side when you lay it down. You can see here, I've messed up a little bit. It's not fully straight. It's kind of overlapping here. That's okay. We're just gonna pull it back off and lay it down again. Otherwise, when you go to cut it out, it's not going to line up properly. You're going to have some issues with it not cutting your project properly. So, of course, because this is not a fresh piece of vinyl, it is going to not be very straight at the top because I've just cut that with my scissors. Now, this step is not necessary. You might not have a brayer tool, and that's okay. You can just use your hand, whatever you have. I just am using this to get out the air bubbles and make sure it's on there really good. This is a new mat, so it shouldn't be an issue, but I do have some air bubbles here that I just want to get out. I don't know if you can see this, but there's like a little bit of a crack in the vein. I'm going to just try to push that out and avoid cutting over that. Okay, so you could totally cut this if you have like a big roll here that you don't want to drag. I don't mind. I kind of just do it like this because I don't want to waste, but you could totally just measure it out and cut where you know that you need to cut into. Perfect. So you can see my Cricut is flashing. All I'm going to do is line up my mat in these two little grooves here, these little white grooves. You're going to put it under and lightly press my mat up against it. I'm not shoving it in there, but I'm holding it in place. That way when I press this button, these little rollers can then pull in the mat. You'll see it in slow motion here. You see that? I was just holding it for support. If I didn't hold it, let me unload it. If I just left it like this, it's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna catch it. So you need to make sure you're kind of supporting your Cricut here. You're putting pressure, just a little bit of pressure, holding it there, pressing on that button, and it's gonna pull it in, and then you're ready to go. Now with your Cricut, you're going to want to make sure there is room in the back here. I'm on the edge of a table, so either turn it away from the wall, pull it away from anything, because this mat, you'll see, is going to pull out through the back as it's cutting. So you need a clear space back here, okay? So you'll see my Cricut is flashing. It's ready to go. It's flashing the C. So we're gonna press the C. This little one is the pause button. If for any reason something starts happening, it's cutting wrong, it's stuck, paper's pulling up, just press that pause button, fix whatever you need, press the pause button, fix it. You can continue with the C right after. So there are a couple options in the emergency that you need to pause it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, in an emergency, just unplug the thing, but you know what I mean. So we're gonna press the C, and it's gonna do its thing. It's gonna start cutting. I'm currently cutting 2 different projects, so if you have seen my previous project doing the stocking or the Santa sacks, I'm doing them both on here. So it's the same process. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that out, and I will be back once it's done cutting. You'll know it's done cutting because it will be flashing the arrow here. When it's done cutting, you're just gonna press the arrow, it's going to spit it out, and you're good to go. Now with this, you're going to flip over your mat and peel the mat away. This will protect your vinyl from creasing. Make sure to keep your sheet clean by just popping that protective sheet back on. Okay, so I'm heating up my mini press because I do want to show you a couple things. And I'm going to start off with cutting out one of the designs to work with. So weeding heat transfer vinyl is really easy. And what weeding is removing the negative area that you don't need or don't want in your design. There are a couple tools. This is probably the one you have. It's called a weeding pick. I also have a weeding pin pen, which essentially just looks like a mechanical pencil or a pen that has a little pin in it. It's really great to just get in there and pull up the vinyl. So you're going to go ahead and just start pulling out the negative pieces. So the inside of the E's and the A's for me. Really carefully. If you're having trouble seeing, add a better light underneath. There are other hacks as well to be able to see, but weeding vinyl that is iron-on is super easy because it's really forgivable. I apologize for the loud noises. I have a little toddler in here with me, very eager to see what mom is making for Christmas. So as you can see, that was really easy to do compared to trying to weed adhesive vinyl, which if you haven't done that yet, you will get that headache shortly. Anyways, we are ready to add this now on. So let's hop on over and start doing that. I have my Cricut mini press. This is the one I'm using. You could use an iron. You could use, honestly, a hair straightener, which I've done before. And I'll leave that video right here linked so you can see how I did that. So all you're going to do is lay it over top. Now you could add a Teflon sheet or something to protect it. I should show you how I'm layering it. So this is why we mirrored the image, which is flipping it. The sticky part with the vinyl, the bump of the vinyl, is going to go against the fabric. Just the plastic carrier sheet's gonna stick up. Now you could put something over here like a Teflon sheet, parchment paper, a thin fabric pillowcase bed sheet, something like that to protect this from melting. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this so you can see how it's being done, but I would suggest you doing something like that. If you have a regular Cricut Easy Press, you have a normal heat press, that works as well. So first I'm going to just go over it slowly like this, shuffling back and forth as you can see, just to get it adhered on. So it's just melting it a little bit. With heat transfer vinyl, the sticky part is activated with heat. So that's what's going to get it to stick to the material or fabric. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go over. And if you're using an iron, an easy press, a hair straightener like I've done in the past, you need to put a lot of pressure, okay? I am putting my body weight into this, and you're going to be wanting to do it on a hard, flat surface. No, that was mommy. Even your floor will work. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. The temperature that you are heating up your press to or your iron is going to depend on the material you're using. And all you're going to do is peel it up. And there we go. It's on there, ready to go. That was so easy to do. Now I'm gonna hop on over to my heat press and show you how I do it with that. My boxes from an order that I'm working on for a shipment. So it's a little crazy, but we are going to make it work. So what I have is my heat press here with some parchment paper. Again, this is kind of tricky with my boxes, so I might need to move this. Mind you, this part does roll, so maybe we can roll this out a little bit. Okay, depending where you're wanting to put the vinyl, I'm thinking of putting mine right at the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it like this. So all I'm going to do is protect my plastic piece with parchment paper, otherwise it will stick to the top of my heat press. Going to put it under and just press it. This is the HTV Ront Auto Press. Like I said, the material is going to change what temp and time you're going to be doing. I typically do it for about 30 seconds at about 315 degrees. So you do what you need to for whatever material you're using, but that's what I'm doing here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and see what is up under here. Perfect. It is on there really good. And there we have it. Perfectly pressed in 60 seconds or less. You can see how projects like this are perfect to make and sell because they take minutes to do. You can do multiple of them. It's so great. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. I do need my other piece of fabric because I got some stuff stuck to there when I was doing a sublimation project. So we have that like this. I'm going to just push this to the edge like so, put it under and press it. Same time, same temp. We're just gonna go with that and then pull it up shortly. I have my little bathrobe on, loving it. Okay, perfect. So we are good to go. We're gonna lift that, check out this bad boy and see where he's at. Perfect, and it is already on there, ready to go. It is a little bit melted. Let's see if I can hit it for another second just to kind of flatten it out. Lift it. Just wanted to do it for a second. Oh shoot. Crisis averted. I thought it melted onto this and that would have sucked because this is the only stocking I have left. Y'all, I look a hot mess, okay? I am in my garage. I just took off my robe for this part so it wasn't as bad, but I just wanted to show you how easy that was to do. This blank was $4.99 from Michael's, and then I got this one as well for $4.99. And this one's from Michael's, $4.99. They had tons of them. I think I got this one at Ross in the States, and it was like $5. And then this, I think, was $3. So definitely a good little project to make and sell. These are just so easy to do, and we love personalizing stuff. People love to buy personalized stuff for their kids, so highly recommend you do something like that. This project is perfect for Cricut beginners. If you just got your Cricut machine, you're wanting to learn how to do some heat transfer vinyl projects, iron-on projects, this is great for the holidays to get started. And look how cute these are. So yes, definitely Cricut beginner friendly. I have tons more Cricut beginner and just Cricut craft tutorials on my channel, so make sure you check that out. I also have my other socials, which is down below, so all of that stuff, you can find me all over for all of your Cricut crafty tips. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'm happy to answer them or do a separate tutorial explaining how I do that, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy crafting.